we're gonna be watching a Bronze 5 Moira, who basically, from what they said is basically they've been in Bronze 5 for 3 months, and they think there's a bug because with the way that they play Moira, they should not be in Bronze 5. Now, they didn't say like out of bronze or anything like that, but they said they should not be. Oh wait, no, they said they should be in low silver. But they should be in low silver, and that they went 5-0 and still stayed in Bronze 5. So that's where they're at right now. A bit of a shorter, like, game, but we're gonna see. This Moira specifically said they think this is a glitch. They should not be in bronze, at least silver, and that there must be a bug. Now, there has been a Bronze 5 bug before, and we've seen like recent patch notes. They've had like, you know, the Bronze 5 bug has been fixed, but this has been 3 months, so I'm not quite sure how long that's gone for, etc. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see. I'm curious to see why or how or if it is a bug or if it's not a bug, if it's a glitch or.
Trust you are doing what is right.
We'll find out.
What? Attackers income is within my reach. Stop the payload.
You know, I actually thought that this was gonna be an amazing Moira lineup. So I was watching that and I'm like, this is gonna be a really cool lineup. I'm actually curious on this one because I don't play a lot of like Moira. So I thought maybe this was like a lineup that like bounced off of there, went into their spawn doors, did a bunch of early spawn damage. Now somehow that Moira orb is gonna do damage. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but that was a good start. Where did the Moira orb actually go? Now I'm curious. I'm gonna follow that Moira orb. Let's see. Oh yeah, that. Well, if somebody was in there, you had him. All right, here we go.
Misery made manifest.
So you're pinging where the trace is at. That's good.
Eyes open.
All right. I do want to say one thing, and you're gonna hear me say this a lot in spectating games. Focus on your positioning. There are times where you're standing in the middle of the open and they can easily get you across the map. Now, obviously, they're not, but.
Reforming you. A sip for the parched. Let's go.
Good healing orb. Good usage of heal. That was also an orb that you used. That was also an orb.
Tell the devil I said howdy. A taste of poison.
Well, one thing right now, by the way, about Moira is when you use your damage orb, they've changed it recently, so when you use your damage orb, you actually get a lot of like your healing back. Like that was a. Right now, what I'm noticing, by the way, with your healing orbs especially, is that you kind of just throw them at your teammates or like around them, and they don't attach to them because they don't have like any HP to gain at that point. So like you just lose your healing orb right away. That is one thing I'm noticing. But yeah, you get your like your healing meter back by doing damage with your damage orb.
Cure for all the veils.
Yeah, I was expecting some TikTok flanks. I haven't seen anything yet. There's also a Life Weaver in this game, so that's a treat in itself. Like,
your strength becomes mine.
you see what's happening, by the way? What I mean with your healing orbs? And I've done this on Moira too, and I started to like realize it a bit more. When you're throwing your healing orbs, you're just kind of like not throwing them towards your teammates half the time. And your orbs are just like, you're just playing ping pong over here. Look at this. Like, that's not... Look at that. Look at... You see what I'm saying? Like... So sometimes with your healing orbs especially, you're kind of just launching them at them. Somewhere else, I will say that if you look at the positioning again, you need to try to focus more on, like, your positioning. You were standing next to a Winston on their team with your back turned to the other team. So like that type of stuff.
For the parched.
Okay, and this is what I'm talking about right here.
A sip for the parched.
All right, look what the healing orb is. Do you see what the healing orb is? And what you're playing like yeah, like you're just bouncing it off the way. That's on another map. Someone on King's Row just got healed.
Pain is inevitable. Balancing your vitals.
60 seconds remaining.
I must recharge. Hold on.
Nice sleep. Also, chat, a lot of like of your games, do you have team fights that just happen here for 4 minutes on Havana? Like just at this exact spot? Yes? This is interesting because like I see Havana full holds, but they're always like back towards like the end of the point, more than like right here. You know what I mean?
I cannot heal you yet. You cannot escape me.
Huh. Here's what I'll say so far. And I'm gonna watch this very quickly here. You don't have to worry about healing Bob there, by the way. Bob is not gonna survive that. And position, remember your position in here. You're gonna get more ult soon, so you don't wanna play too far up. There you go. You wanna back away. See, like, I wanna see this next healing orb. I'm very curious. Okay, damage orb is fine. Because you get the healing. Just Moira now. Just Moira. Like, you won't lose that. That was the Moira ult. That was an ult that was used. That was an ult that was used. There goes the... There goes the ping pong healing orb again. Alright, so for anybody who just joined us or wondering what was going on here, one of the discussions we had with this spectating was that they had posted that they felt that there's a glitch and they're in bronze 5 and they should be in silver at the very least. And what I'm seeing here with your Moira gameplay, and there's actually some, your playstyle isn't really that bad with what you're doing. It really isn't. Like, you're actually, but I can tell one thing that you're doing a lot of is that one of like the major part of Moira's kit is the orb, right? And when you're throwing like healing orbs off of like the ground that go up to the skybox, or you're like just throwing your healing orb like it's almost gonna be like an Ononade, and it just goes past them, you're not giving yourself enough opportunity to either A, build a ball charge, or get any value with the orb. You're better off just damage orbing at that point. So like, it's really hard to say, because you're saying that like you feel like you should at least be in silver with this Moira gameplay. Like this Moira gameplay alone, you should be in silver. Like that's what you're saying. Like this, you're like, I should not be in bronze. That's what I will say to this is, playstyle wise, you're not going to their backlight and feeding. You're also not making any plays, but you're not playing bad. But what I will say is that if you look at your position a lot of the time, you were in the middle of the open most of the time, which makes it really, 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 really easy for them to make a play off of you. And I'll show you that in a second. I'm gonna see if you do it on attack here. This is, like I said, this is a very short game, so I didn't get a really high sample size of like the full gameplay, but I can see what's happening a lot of the time with this game. Remember, they're more to the left there, so your damage orb is going to go off of a wall and do nothing there. And of course it does a little bit of damage. Why not, right? After I say that. And this is what I've been talking about here. All right? Now, I'm not saying that when I play Moira, I don't randomly hit a lamppost. All right? Actually, I imagine a lot of people in chat here, we've all had this moment where we play Moira and we hit the lamppost, and before chat says, what do you mean? I'm in the backline doing damage, wonder where everybody's at while having the most damage output, right? But like, this is what I mean, where if you really start to focus on better orb usage, even with this right here, just watch. Just watch this orb from this point of view. Okay, look how far away you are from your team. Already, you're like, your Mercy is pocketing the Ashe. I understand you wanted to get the Reaper. But like, you can damage that Reaper from right here, all while being able to help your team at that point, right? And then The healing orb, look at. This is what I mean. And it heals the ride for a little bit, I love it. So remember that. That's a better healing orb, see? You got some value with that one, right? And it didn't bounce off walls. That's what I mean, though. Wait. Wait. Oh, there it goes. It's going in there. That's not going to help Ryan. Don't you worry about that. They're not even getting. They're not spinning on the card. This is. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. All right. I watched this game here, and I could. Your team was just dominating. Your team was dominating. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't sit here and be like, yeah, I watched this gameplay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm plat 2 right now. I will say this much about what I saw with your Moira gameplay. You're not playing like bad in the sense that you're not like feeding, which is a good thing, right? If you're gonna focus on something, and this is the one thing I will let you know with this, okay? If there's one thing I would recommend focusing on your Moira gameplay, and especially with you wanting to climb, even if it's a bug, eventually you'll be able to climb up with this, right? Focus on high value Moira orbs. I'm telling you right now. There was times where you could not even build any ult charge because you sent a healing orb off to a different map, and you couldn't even heal your teammates because you were playing so far back that you weren't getting value and you weren't getting maximum amount of potential you could with your Moira ult or with your Moira orbs, etc. Work on your Moira orbs, put a lot of value, and think about where you're putting those orbs, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna at the beginning, for example, you launched a damage orb over here, all right? They were all playing right here. Yeah, there's a chance your damage orb bounces off here and goes over here, but if you're throwing your damage orb, right? Exactly. Somebody in chat said, it reminds them of somebody playing Ana. That's exactly what it reminded me of. It's like you were playing Moira like you would play like Ana, maybe BAP. And it doesn't mean that I'm saying go into their backline and do a bunch of damage, but you have opportunities there to make plays, take map control, get really good high damage orbs. And people go, well, why do you want a damage orb? Why do you want a damage orb? I'm gonna explain it again on this one. When your damage orb hits somebody, it gives you your healing resource back now. So the more high value orbs you get, whether it's healing or damage, will give you more ult charge, which in return will give you more value as Moira. Not saying that's how you naturally will like play Moira all the time, but they're designing it more and more so that your damage orb gives you more value towards your healing. That way you can do a balance of both good of healing and damage. Yep, so watch this. Here, I'll show you. So that changed. Let me see if I can find a damage orb that worked here at some point. I'll show you very quickly before we do this, okay? There you go, okay. Here we go. Look how much healing resource there is, right? Now watch the healing resource with the damage orb. You see that? You see how much it went up right there? With the damage orb? So if that damage orb's there, you're gonna go get to about like right here. So damage orbs, and then the right click, give you healing resource back, which means that when you balance out what you're doing there, you're gonna get a good amount of damage from that orb, as well as be able to continue with your heals. And with your play style, that would also be helpful because you play more of that like with your team play style. So getting high value orbs, especially damage orbs or good right clicks, gives you the ability to play the style you want to play. Anyway, to the initial question by this Moira, the question was, or the statement was, that they feel like they should be in silver and that they should not be in bronze 5 because they've been in bronze 5 for 3 months. I'm gonna be real with you. I have no idea from watching this game specifically. And that's why, like, sometimes I'll watch longer VODs, is because if I see a 20-minute game, it's a lot easier for me to see that. Here's what I saw. You all played really well, your teammates popped off, and you full health. And the only thing I can go off of that is just better orb usage. Straight up. Also, if a Winston is sleeping on the ground over here, don't turn around and just stare at the Winston and try to heal them, because at the same time, somebody back here can see you just standing there and get in the limb. So remember that, all right? Anyway, that was that one. That was a little bit quicker than we normally do when we watch some of these videos. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, sub to the YouTubes if you haven't. Hope you all have an amazing day/night. Also, if you like videos like this, let me know, because we've been doing a little bit more spectating bronze stuff, and this was one of those videos where, like, they just put in the comments, like, hey, I should not be bronze 5. I should just be in silver, and this game proves that.